All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? So I just want to make this clear. For those who don't know, Nicki Minaj did her Queen radio bit tonight. She got a radio show over there on Apple. Whenever she wants to check in, it looks like the agreement with Apple is she has ownership and she has the power to check in at her discretion. Again, she doesn't do it every week, but when she's got new music, when she's an album or whatever, she checks in. I want to let you guys know this. Nicki's going on tour the next couple months for the overseas dates. Again, she canceled her American tour, but she's a little hotter overseas than she is in the States. So she did not cancel her overseas tour. So starting February 21st, Nicki and Juice WRLD are going overseas. So, you know, generally speaking, when an artist is going overseas, especially when they're going, or at least when they're going on tour, period, especially when they're going as far away from when her album dropped. Nicki's album dropped, what, like last August or September? Somewhere around that. Because it's so far away from her album, you know, you want to get hotter. You want to make sure you're as hot as possible. So you hop on a couple new records. I just said all that to say this is not uncommon. Nicki's, before her tour, she's hopping on a couple of the hot records right now. And on her Queen radio, she unveiled 2 remixes. So one is to Lil Baby's Drip Too Hard, Don't Stand Too Close, You Gonna Fuck Around and Drown Off This Wave. That hot ass record, one of my favorite records right now. And she went in on Meek Mill's Going Bad. Yes, I said her ex-boyfriend, Meek Mill, she went in on his Going Bad record featuring none other than her Young Money mate, Drizzy Drake. Oh man, this is gonna be eventful. So we're about to put the lyrics on the screen from this record right in a second. So I want you guys to get ready. Taliaferro about to do his lyrical breakdown. I know y'all always excited for that. Before I get into that, I do want to say this. I'm in Atlanta right now. It's not a coincidence that I'm telling y'all something that is happening. Meek Mill and Cardi B have a show tonight in Atlanta. I believe Nicki is that type of petty. It is not a coincidence that she's releasing this record tonight as Meek Mill and Cardi B have a show together at the biggest club in Atlanta at Compound. By the way, Meek and Cardi were spotted together earlier in the day with an event during the day, and they also got this night party. It's not a coincidence that Nicki's doing this today. I just want to put that out there. It's not a coincidence. Let's get into this Going Bad remix in which Nicki is taking some shots at Meek and Drizzy Drake. She started this thing off by saying, neck tat say Onika, I got more slaps than Aretha. When you lose the Queen, niggas friendly, dog. It was just back to back like Wembley, dog. Now you all the way back in the Bentley, dog. I turn lemons into lemonade simply, dog. Oh boy and my brother trying to end me, dog. I heard they looking for the old me. A couple of you niggas still owe me. Let's go down a couple bars here. She said, you bitches still my son, learn your A's and B's. Lead the hate train in the station, please. I was in the court, no J's and B's. Made her change her mind in the judge chamber, please. At the end of the verse, she does, I think, go back to Meek and Drake. She said, yeah, I got the juice and I'm taking them on tour imitating Nicki. Why your ghostwriter dissing me? Leave it to Weez, I got all the babies missing me. Never going far, never not going ball. And I keep my niggas busting like a Draco. He always come back, big Draco. Still going bad on you Stanko. So let's get into some of these bars here. All right, out the gate, Nicki is clearly talking about Drake and Meek extensively, all right? She said, I got more slaps than Aretha. When you lose the Queen, niggas friendly, dog. So I'm putting one and one together. She's saying ever since her and Meek ain't been together, she's like, yo, you lose me. Now you get friendly with somebody who you was considering an op. And for those who don't remember, Nicki Minaj was right there in the center of the Meek and Drake beef by default, all right? Just to put in the context, Drake acknowledged during an interview right after the Meek and Drake beef kind of simmered down, he was like, look, the only thing I worried about was if Nicki dissed me, right? He was like, when I was dissing Meek Mill, when I dropped Charged Up, the only thing that I kept thinking about was, is Nicki gonna get involved in this? All right? Now, also in the midst of that, Meek Mill was pretty much adamant about saying he wanted to diss Drake. There was a rumor out there that Nicki put Meek up to that. He was like, nah, this is something that he wanted to do. So both of these two guys made it clear that they didn't want Nicki in the center of it, but by default, she still was in the center of it, right? She said it was just back-to-back like Wembley, dog. So she's saying this is going from Meek to Drake now. She's like, yo, Drake, you was just dropping back-to-back. Now y'all friendly? Like, y'all back-to-back now? Like, y'all back-to-back? Like, y'all, we ain't dropping the back-to-back this. Now y'all just back-to-back, my nigga? She said, now you all the way back in the Bentley, dog. Now, for those who don't know, the Going Bad video is dropping any day now. And there's a picture that was released a few weeks ago in which Meek and Drake are in the back of the Bentley together. So she's saying, yo, y'all niggas, not only are y'all not beefing anymore, y'all back in the Bentley together? Like, yo, what type of time y'all niggas on? She said, I turn lemons into lemonade simply, dog. I like that little clever bar there. She said, oh boy, my brother trying to end me, dog. Now, here's where I get confused, right? I never thought anything about Drake and Meek ending their beef had anything to do with Nicki Minaj. I never thought that they were dissing Nicki by ending their beef. I just thought it looked like two dudes who was in a different space right now, right? I never looked at it as like they were trying to throw a shot at Nicki, but if you read her, she's saying, oh boy, my brother trying to end me. Like, I guess she looks at it like, yo, y'all, maybe she thinks they're trying to beef with her. I don't know. I never looked at it like that. Like, I never thought that. Go down, she starts to talk about Meek's legal case, right? She says, leave the hate in the hate train in the station, please. I was in the court, no J's and B's. I think she's referencing the fact that Jay-Z and Beyonce have both spoke out over the last few months, and Jay's been behind Meek Mill, not only financially with Roc Nation, but he's been behind Meek in any way he can, trying to help Meek get his freedom, right? She's like, I was in the court before Jay-Z and Beyonce was standing up for you, and she was like, I made her change her mind in the Judge Chambers, please. And Nicki has said in a couple interviews that, you know, Judge Janice Brinkley, the judge that Meek claims is out for his freedom, Nicki has always said when she talked to Judge Janice Brinkley, she was always fair to Meek. So she's saying, I was in the chambers with Judge Janice Brinkley and Meek, and she's saying she's taking credit for making the judge change her mind. All right? Okay. I don't know anything else about that. I went in the chambers. Like, I'm gonna leave that alone. She ends it with saying he always comes back Big Draco. So I really look at it like Nicki thinks Meek and Drake are against her. Maybe something has happened behind the scenes. I don't know. Some people are gonna call Nicki corny for doing this. I just think this is hip hop. I'm rolling with this. Like, she's trying to get hotter as she goes on tour. Shit, she hopped on one of the hottest records in the country. It just so happens to be relevant to her life. Two people that she's got history with, right? One a label mate and one was her ex. Shit, I just think it would be stupid for her not to hop on this record. It's clever. It's going to get the most clicks. It's going to be talked about the most. A lot of people going to call her corny for bringing Meek up again, and it looks like she's trying to get Meek's attention. I don't look at it like that. That shit just look like hip-hop to me. It just look like she's clever enough to play off a situation that's relevant to her life. What y'all think, though? Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. She's definitely throwing them jabs at Meek and Drake, though. She definitely looks like she's not a friend of these two ending their beef. Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. I thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO. Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.